Good afternoon, and what is a cool, grey and cloudy day. It is Thursday the 23rd of May, and I'm in the reading nook with a nice hot cup of tea and a box to continue unboxing. And what come out, and it does, is The Legacy of Cthulhu. The Legacy of Cthulhu. The great old ones awakened and brought chaos and insanity to the world. After the fall of civilization, you, alone or with a group, must survive the horrors and hardships of a decayed land, and with a little bit of luck, find a way to bring hope to humankind. In this innovative RPG, you can face the madness of Cthulhu in 3 game modes: solo, co-op, or traditional group play. It is from Mind's Vision and 101 Games, and it carries a 18+ warning label. There we go. Let's have a look inside. So yes, another Call of Cthulhu Lovecraftian investigative horror inspired role-playing game, as if we need yet one more of those. As Brenda would say, Brenda from Bristol would say, what, another one? There's a political reference for you if you want to look it up. But this looks basically like a slim book. It's got a dust jacket, and I think there's going to be something else on the inside if it has a dust jacket. So I'm going to take this off so you can see that. There we go. That's a terrific cover. Quite eye-catching. There we go. And I'm going to keep the dust jacket off until the end so that you can, I'm not going to damage that as I go through it. And you get the same piece of artwork on the front, on the inside cover, but in black and white, and it's just as effective. And that feels sort of like very kind of 50s EC comics kind of thing. And that's no bad thing. Presumably the landscape after Great Cthulhu has risen. The credits page. Table of contents. And kind of setting it in a homely location with the image and colour fiction. Before we get onto the introduction, tell what the game's about, how you are going to play solo, playing cooperative, and playing with a mediator. Basically 3 different modes, telling you what you need to play. Basically it's going to need pen, paper, 2 10-sided dice. So it's a percentile dice game, is it? I don't know. And then we get onto the world setting. The omens that led up to the rise of the great, the reappearance of the great old ones, and the great old ones return. 1925. We're talking the classic year when Lovecraft's Call of Cthulhu is set. You have the dreams spreading out from the unknowable mind of Cthulhu himself, affecting the art world, spreading nightmares and horrors, but influence artwork and so on. But in here, rather than Great Cthulhu being essentially rammed by a yacht and then forced back to sleep, here he rises. And we got to move on to character creation of the survivors. And a list of weapons, common and exotic. So, weapons, rifle, shotgun, grenades, machetes, common. Exotic weapons, 50 cal machine gun, nail gun, rocket launcher, sniper rifle, grenade launcher. Including sort of like, it's possible to have armour, because, hey, if you've regressed a bit with the world collapsing, yeah. With sorcery of the great old ones, we've got the profane spells, alarm, arcane shield, astral projection. Artifacts of power, so they include things like amulet protection, amulet of zig, King James's Bible, as if that's going to do a great deal for you. Grimoires, the Necronomicon, etc. Silver Key, and so on. Shelters. Here is essentially your location where you're going to be gaming from, or be surviving from, and then upgrades you can add. Then we go on to the rules. So the skill is essentially essentially you are attempting to you add stat plus skill, and you're rolling your d10, their side of your die, and rolling greater than 10 to get an effect. So actually quite dealt with in fairly cursory terms. You know, it's there's rules in there for mass attack and hunger and insanity and other. I mean, but it's quite simple. We've got examples of sort of like of action and play. So how the rules actually work. So you know how to do things like acquire a random item or a specific item, and then sort of like building your scenarios around locations. So almost like a hex crawl, quite literally. And here's what you might encounter. You've got table encounters and discoveries to be made. And underground, if you are playing in a big enough city with an underground, and ruins to be encountered, coastal locations, and these are spurs really just for things like for your solo play. And for your sort of like co-op play, you've got just one player, one the game master, and then you're using them for a larger group, and then laying out special locations, including such a military base. And this pushes. Now it's clear, obviously. I was thinking that essentially when when it had sort of like a chainsaw. You did get chainsaws in the 20s, but they were kind of sort of like steam-driven or clockwork-driven. Here we have actually an actual military base. So this is, we are almost 100 years on from the disaster that befell the world with the rise of Cthulhu. So different locations to explore. Essentially that period suggested by the inclusion of an image of a helicopter. And then we've actually got, encounter tables as well, facing hordes, and then items you might find. So a lot of tables so far. And then game modes. This is how we get onto sort of play. So playing solo, interacting with characters, interacting with the scenario. Dealing with important events and the characters. And the basic options for playing with cooperative, essentially playing with a mediator. And late game. Essentially, this is really sort of dealing with the aftermath, dealing with sort of like essentially building upgrades, items, gaining new skills. So this is not so much late game as sort of like what are you doing between games, per se. For your shelters, there might be increasing space in a shelter, increasing the technology, upgrading a shelter. Special upgrades might be automatic firing on a weapon or Dragon's Breath armor, so on. And this is basically, what did this game end? Because you are improving the character. You're supposed to be surviving and getting better. And then we have a game example. And then we look at particular locations, so particular cities. So what happens to Arkham in this post-apocalyptic world? We've got various NPCs that might be encountered there. Possible shelter. Then it marks Arkham out as a series of hexes to be explored, and does the same for Dunwich. And in each case, you've basically got important characters to be encountered there, just some descriptions, Kingsport. So really, this is very much a New England hex crawling away, but then it switches, so you can also do other cities, so Berlin, Las Vegas, London, New York, and Tokyo, and then section on enemies. So you've got a mix of the mythos, non-mythos. So, you know, okay, you do have children of Carcosa, ghouls, ghosts, hybrid psychos, undead. Not a lot of the classic kind of creatures. Oh, hold on. The great old ones and their hordes, so that does include abyssal spawns and the Byakhee, and sort of Bukrug instead of, well, you know, well, okay, they're Bukrug there, but you know what they are, you know. Deep ones. Dagons and Hydras. Basically, you have Dagon and Hydra, but not deep ones. Various gods as well. And great Cthulhu himself. And then epilogue. And then the credits, the backers of the game, character sheet, and it's actually Brazilian. It says backers of the original Brazilian edition. So this is actually a Brazilian role-playing game translated into English. So I'm really glad this actually made it across to the English-speaking hobby market, and I was able to get hold of a copy. I will be interested to give this a review because it presents a very different approach to Lovecraftian investigative horror role-playing game. I would actually go so far as to say this is Lovecraftian survival horror role-playing game, which you can set in the city of your choice, and you explore it as an hex crawl. Now, my only thing is to say, despite it being a Brazilian game, I didn't see a Brazilian city listed as one of the locations. I absolutely think that would have been a worthwhile addition because, hey, if you're a Brazilian publisher, so no Rio de Janeiro or Brasilia or whatever the city of your choice is. Obviously, it's probably going to be Rio de Janeiro. But anyway, that is Legacy of Cthulhu from Mind's Vision. I look forward to giving this a proper read, proper review, and giving my full thoughts on it in due course. Anyway, in the meantime, I hope you enjoyed this unboxing in the Nook. If you did, then please do click on the like button down below. And if you've got any comments or feedback, I do appreciate you taking the time to post those. And lastly, if you want to be alerted to get more unboxings in the Nook, where you'll see me out here with a box containing a book or game or role-playing game, which I will unbox and chat about to the best extent of my knowledge for roughly 10 minutes or so, all of course accompanied by a nice hot cup of tea, then please do click on the like on the subscribe button down below. Thanks again for watching another unboxing in the Nook. I will be back again soon with another one. Bye for now.